Okay, me again. So, to continue, and I thought, as this is called Frank's Fiddle, I'd introduce you to Frank. Now, when I get better at this, I'll be able to put this in videos, because there are ways that you can insert images and photos into videos. I have no clue how to do that. I'm learning this as I go along, and I'm pretty rubbish at it, as you've probably picked up. So we'll see how my fiddling improves, and also how my video in storytelling improves. Sorry if I cough, I got a bit of that flu I had in December's come back again. Anyway, this is Frank. There he is. And when I learn how to do it, I'll put that video, the photo. But this is how small Frank was. This is Frank holding his violin. Okay. Clearly that's Frank holding a guitar, but I don't have a photo of him holding his violin, and I don't think any of the family have either. I don't think anybody captured a video of Frank playing his violin. But there he is. That's the man. A few years ago, a couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I suppose that was taken. That's Frank. Randall Frank Phillis, to give the man his full honorarium. And that's what it's all about. As I say, I will include those photos later. So we got to the point, and there will be fiddle playing coming up soon. We got to the point where I was trying to decide what style I wanted to play, and as I said, I understand the basics. No, I don't understand the basics. I understand that the basics are important, but I found that when I was doing it with, when I was having lessons with Vadim, two things here. Firstly, the lessons were once a week. He wanted them to be at least twice a week, but he's an instructor and he makes his money out of that, so that's not a criticism, it's just a fact of life. But twice a week, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to pay that much money to learn to play the violin for Frank. And I can't fit it in anyway, and I'd be forever fitting it in around his, because I work as well, so I'd be forever fitting it in around his schedule. But also, and so the problem that you got there, that I had there, was it's once a week. It was every Wednesday, and then there'd be a week where he'd leave me these. I had this workbook, which is for a start is in Russian, but I mean that's okay because the notes are still the notes. But it was all notes, as you can see. The tunes that are in there are all notes, and that will be important later when I explain that. And when people say to you, can you read music, you think, oh yeah, I can read music. I remember Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge and FACE, and I might remember how to do that. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to remember how to read music. Yeah, not the same thing. A, when you're trying to read it at the speed it's played, and B, when you're trying to read it and actually do something to make those notes come to life. So, another thing to learn. If you're going to go down the route of playing violin, another thing to learn. All the stuff that you've got to do with the violin, and then learn again how to read music properly, and then how to translate that into a speed that it's got back the rhythms and where. Oh, excuse me. I'm not starting this again, so you have to put up with the sneezes. And so, yeah, so there you go. Another thing to learn. And one other thing with the fiddlehead stuff, and I've put a link in all the videos, and I will continue to do that. And other online things is they give you the notes on the different on the 4 strings, and it tells you where to put your fingers. So it'll be either an open string, an open D, first finger, second finger, third finger, etc. And so when you're playing the tune, you're actually following it on the open string 1, 2, 3 rather than the notes on the violin. Having said that, I will make an effort, if this carries on and I do this, I will make the effort to learn the music. And I've found another site which is different to Fiddleheads, and I can't remember the lady's name, but I will put on there because she's very good, a Dutch lady I think she is, and she's printed off some sheet music. No, she's got some sheet music on her side which I printed a couple of tunes off. And as you can see on here, you've got the music, but you've also, if you look along the top there, you can see it says like D at the beginning, open, 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 D1, and you can see the finger, that's the fingering. And the beauty of doing it that way is once you've learnt it across the top, it's also got the music along the bottom, so you can learn the notes, and you can also learn the notes to play, and you can also learn the music at the same time. So that was very good, and I say I will remember that. I will look up that lady's name and I'll mention it in the next video. And the problem with her site, it's not a problem, but the difference with her site is it's more about violin, and it's more about, and she's very good, and she's an excellent, by the looks of it, an excellent teacher, but it's not taking you from the basics like the fiddlehead thing does. And so I have decided, and I decided fairly early on, that I wanted to play fiddle style. And another reason I like the fiddle style is it's more freestyle than playing violin. For example, Vadim was very, very big on telling me about how my fingers should be structured and where they should be, and okay, no problem with that, and how they should be on the violin, and where the violin on the bow, where the bow should rest, where the pinky should sit, and how crooked it should be. And okay, that's fine. But then when you look at fiddlers doing their fiddle, I've seen one video on here just recently, not on Fiddlehead, but just on a YouTube video, and the fiddler was playing, a really crusty old long-term fiddler, was playing as fast as you like, blooming rapid, and his hand was somewhere up here, and he's having a right good go with it. So, and also Vadim was very particular about the angle of the wrist and that lot, and again, I understand, for the smoothness of the bowing and to make the bow go in a straight line, there needs to be certain angles. But fiddling just seems to be a lot more freestyle. Again, with the fingers, and with the left hand, Vadim was talking very much about this is me holding the fiddle, talking very much about this shape here and the curve of the fingers. And again, okay, I understand that, but when you look at some of the videos, there are folks who play the fiddle down here, there are folks who play it with the hand flat, and so, and for somebody who's getting on in years, I mean, I'm not 20 anymore, doing this and moving these shoulder muscles, it becomes sore, very sore, and it becomes unenjoyable. And I'm not, as I say, I'm not trying to learn this for a living. I'm trying to do this for a bit of fun. So, and I convinced myself I was just copping out by saying, oh no, I want to do the freestyle stuff, but I'm not. I'm doing it because it's fun. And with the fiddlehead stuff, which I'm going to do when I've done this video, it's a progression, and the beauty of it is, you can go through and then think, actually, I'm just going to go back to that again. So you go back and do these things again, and there's practice in there. And Jason at Fiddlehead is not trying to get you to skip through. He talks about repetition. He talks about trying it 1,000 times, literally 1,000 times. And so he's trying to get you, he wants you to do these things correctly, which for me works, that kind of encouragement. But it's a regular thing. So I haven't got to wait until next Wednesday for Vadim to come to see if I've got this bit right or for him, and then go back over that. So he spent half the lesson going back over what he did before. And again, no criticism with that, because it must work for a lot of people. I just want to have a bit more relaxation and a little bit more of a laugh with that. And I do laugh at myself a lot. Some of the noises I make, which you'll very soon hear. So I'm going to finish this video because I'm at the 8 or 9 minute mark, and I want to get this one up, and I'll do another one very shortly, and then we'll get into fiddling.